Well then. Apparently my face is having technical difficulties. Hey, minions. Keep them entertained.
Well, hello there. I am Jekyll. Jekyll and Hyde. I'm poorly failing at a German accent, I know.
This is why minions make a good food source.
Wait up. Hold up.
Did somebody page Dr. Bird?
You know, I don't like being called a food source. I'm much more of a snack, you know? What? Every horror scene needs a dumb blonde.
But you're not dumb.
Also, Aiden says they filled up with nom nom juice so they won't be starving. Good job, Aiden.
Batteries?
I was gonna guess batteries. Hello, Zaffy. Hello, Zephyr. Meanwhile, moment. Our, evil lord here is having technical difficulties.
It needs to be nommed.
What's his face? Or fixes everything. Good to know. I'll be sure to try that out next time my computer gets, frozen. Just eat it. Oh god, that reminds me of a parody song. Back in like the early 2000s, there was this parody song called Just Eat It. It was a parody of Michael Jackson's Beat It. They can hear me, right?
I don't any substances kid. Oh, because I think that because my brain is trying to process something.
casually high. What are you talking about?
Well, while my minions are high and ever so slightly vacant, let's try this again, shall we? Ah, there we go.
Pause for dramatic effect.
Yay, it works.
Claire,
What?
party's joinable.
Oh. I'm a minion. I don't get paid enough to lock parties.
You don't get paid at all.
I'm going to need to feed you to the Rancor, aren't I?
Oh, you mean him? Oh yeah, I just slept with him last Tuesday.
Hello, Zaffy. Hello, Zephyr. Hello, Andy. Hello, Dennis. Claire. What am I going to do with you?
Are you upset that I'm playing into my role too much?
No, you're actually doing quite well.
All I know is Dr. Bird is reporting for duty.
I really don't think that was what you said, but at the same time,
I feel like Millie.
I said Dr. Bird is reporting for duty.
Yeah, I know. My brain translated
That's how I feel right
translated it as something else.
I feel like a Millie from Hell of a Boss.
I feel like Scram from Scram.
Do not do a screm in my face. Or in my ear.
That's Claire's job.
No, she's supposed to be scremming into the cheese's ears.
No, I meant she's job to receive the Scram, not give the Scram.
No, it's cheese's job to cause the screm.
Yeah, it's Jesus. It's Jesus. Cheese causes scrum.
I thought cheese
I
goes
just
squeak.
took another hit. By another hit, I mean I just took a bowl to the face.
Congrats, Claire. You're not supposed to do that. Analyzed blood sample of light regeneration serum. Okay.
Williamson's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching.
Oh, I think I know what happened.
What's that?
Sun is about to rise. I can feel it.
This noob probably
continue to
reported me
moonlight.
to Ubisoft because they thought I was
so
cheating.
much time now.
And?
I'm just using a Power A controller, man.
Glass
Did
vials.
Ubisoft do anything?
Huh?
Did Ubisoft do anything?
No.
They
You
can't
know
do
Ubisoft
anything.
doesn't
They
do
weren't.
anything.
They weren't using a, or she wasn't using a thing.
I know, but I just ask anyway.
And do you
because...
know Ubisoft doesn't do anything for consoles?
True.
Since, I mean, I have seen a couple ban waves.
I'm going to run around here, see if there's anything I can pick up. Or anyone I can pick on.
Oh, I already have a rework of my Sona in the works.
Nice.
I'm commissioning my first reference sheet.
Your first what?
I've had Claire for...
Reference sheet.
Ah.
I've had Claire for 5 years now, I think.
I've
Nice.
had Bird for maybe 3 to 4 years, or maybe longer. I don't know how long.
She's changed a little bit in regards of fur color. She's gotten more teal than blue.
Only thing that changes Bird is his derp levels have fluctuated over the years.
Oh yeah, no. Everyone thought that Claire was a cat. Like, starting out, everyone thought Claire was a cat.
There we go. Sorry, I had to adjust the sound.
You're a good kid. I thought my mic was acting up again.
Now. Nah, I couldn't hear the game, and it wasn't registering the game as much on the actual thing. So I had to up the sound. I had to up the volume levels.
So they can hear me more. I'm kidding.
Actually, I turned you down.
You turned
Aw.
both of us down.
It's locked.
Yep.
Why'd you turn me down, kid? I was being so nice.
Because he's trying to hear
Don't
the game
make
more.
me slap you.
By the way, kid, you know how I know this is an alternate universe?
Because
Because
vampires
those
exist?
because those files require sodium hypochlorite.
Yeah,
That can kill a human.
I'm aware. Hospital full, please go back home. I am looking around the area because this is, for all intents and purposes, a RPG style game. Which means there's going to be stuff to pick up scattered all over the place, and since there's a crafting system, there's going to be crafting resources all over the place. Like that.
Aiden says, oh, I thought Kit said cheese, not Jesus.
Also, hello Ed, num num.
I give Aiden the hug.
The hug?
The hug. Yep,
Giving Aiden the hug.
the hug. It involves giving
How do
a
you
hug.
give someone the hug?
Instead of a hug, it's the hug. It's the same concept, just different wording.
I give it to you with a hug.
It sounds like you're giving them a disease.
Oh god, please don't speculate on what the hug could be. Because we don't need a new version of the clap specifically for furries.
The hug, when you give someone concrud.
Claire, you've never been to a convention? Now I'm gonna slap you because that's gonna become a thing. Don't influence conventions until you've been to one, dick. Because I swear to God, if somebody says, yeah, they gave me the hug, in reference to Concrud, I'm gonna thwap you.
It's more bird thing made that than anything, though, kid. I'm sorry. And I just haven't been time to go to one because I've been too nervous.
Boy, you're gonna want to go to this coming up BLFC because it might give you the chance to, you know, sit on an otter face.
I wouldn't sit on the otter face. I may smooch the otter face, but that's about it.
Uh-huh.
God damn it, Zeffy!
Too hot. What is
Thank
the
you.
hug? Ooh.
Yum. We don't talk about the hug. I'll give you another question, though, if you'd like.
So, the
Good
hug.
evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet.
My rain
name
of
is
some of the
Pippa
tongue caused
Hawkins.
something
The
really bad to
Hawkins one.
happen.
Hey
Is has
guys,
another suit.
dialogue.
Recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Your life in London.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Bleh.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Weirdest experience I've had in the fandom.
And I bab Claire.
I'm sorry, I need to scratch my brain a second. Hold on. Weirdest experience in the fandom. Oh, that's a hard question to answer. I'm trying to remember if it was my introduction to IRC chats, my introduction to furry porn, or very specifically my fucking introduction to furry animated porn. I think my introduction to furry animated porn was probably the weirdest for not just myself, but everyone around me.
Furry animated? I want to know more.
You do go on to I can't say that with nope, I can't say that on this. Actually, you know what? I can say that on this stream. I am not the one responsible for the children watching this. Go on to E621 and find the search codes and look up the search code for WEBMs.
Okay.
There is a whole
I
ocean
know
of
what you're
porn
talking
there.
about.
Yeah, no, it's animated porn. It's porn.
It's weird.
There are actually some pretty good ones.
There are good ones. Don't get me wrong.
There are good ones. It's an
But
ocean
it
of fucking
is
bad
weird.
ones to find the good ones, though.
It's like fanfiction.net.
Pretty much. It's fanfiction.net,
Oh, I
but
remember fanfiction.net.
Isn't it still around?
I believe so.
I used to use it.
So did I, just because I used to find the bad fanfiction. Just
I used to
laugh at
surf.
them.
I used to surf the fanfic lemon, or the lemon fanfic archive.
Okay. I remember signing up for fanfiction.com for one reason. That was back when I was a hardcore Undertale fan.
So, for the record, Zappy, it would probably be my introduction to furry animated porn, because a buddy of mine said, "Hey, check this out. You've got to see this." While we were in school, and showed me one of his favorite porn videos. We both knew he was a furry. We both knew we were furries. So it was a thing. While we were talking about it, because we were all, like over in a corner all to ourselves talking about it, and he said, You know what would be fucking hilarious? What? Reached over my keyboard and hit Alt F6. For those of you who don't know, if you're on a network system, back with the old Macintosh, Alt F6 was send to network.
Oh God.
Oh dear God.
The entire computer class suddenly had a moment of, what the fuck?
Oh dear God.
My friend got
I'm pretty
suspended for that after like a 2-week investigation.
I'm pretty sure at least one person had an awakening that day.
More than likely. I know I did. I should point out also, this was in like the 4th grade, maybe 5th. Anyways, continuing dialogue.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping
Also,
with the epidemic?
Aiden says,
Not
I
well.
got a hug. I
Milton,
don't
the
want to know
ambulance
more.
driver, is even more
Fanfiction.net
grumpy
is
than
still
usual,
around. I moved on to
especially
AO3 though.
concerning doctors.
Okay, I'm gonna re-freaking choose that dialogue since Claire literally spoke all the way through it. Also, Snuggles for the Aiden!
Sorry, I was
How is
literally
the Pembroke
looking at.
staff coping
There,
with the
numb
epidemic?
face.
Not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's
Fair.
not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
So, part of this game is learning about the people around you. Like these two. Or John Hampton right here. Because the more you know about them, the more you can do with them, the more tasty they become later in the game.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh,
Mm.
sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory.
I know what
Fear
your
and exhaustion make me
secrets
say awful
that
things
makes
to
you
my
more
employees.
delicious.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Life in London.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Huh.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people like that, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Has the gang been threatened?
So now that I have
Ah,
given
no.
Chad
I've had this
an
nickname
accurate
for so
description
long.
of what the hug is,
The sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even
Once again, I
criminals.
apologize for saying the hug instead of a hug.
it's okay. I
I
like
think
the- I
my
like the
story about the
wording.
porn killed the chat, because the only thing that I've seen recently is, wow, LMAO.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of fan fiction, the last time I read fan fiction was really, really bad self-insert Yu-Gi-Oh fan fiction.
Yeah.
Did it
no,
involve
same.
a player trying to bang their Blue Eyes White Dragon?
No, I didn't know. All the ones that went for PT, it's like self-insert is like the main story. Trying to write duels. Writing duels is hard.
Yeah. Anyways, hold up.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Ah. And yes, a lot of this game is talking to people and learning about them. It's going to be one of those things. By the way, what do you guys think so far of the game?
I'm going to go start playing it again sometime.
It's a weird. It's a weird way of seeing an alternate dimension.
I need to schedule my computer's antivirus to run.
Hold on. I remember
Good
talking
evening,
to this
miss.
chick.
I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
By the way, this is kind of a giggle because I'm a vampire and she thinks she's a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Oh, poor little lamb.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you might be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these
Well,
enemies
damn.
you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Local investigation. The new citizen investigation is available. Press to use the local investigation menu. Citizen investigations are displayed here, categorized by district. You can start a new citizen quest by tracking it with X, and then access your map to locate the area to explore. Now, that's tracked. Eh? Pembroke Hospital. Find out who's spying on Thelma.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Time has lost its effect on me.
But the suffering continues.
Fear and disgust on it.
So,
Excuse me.
I gotta point out, there are actually people with Cotard syndrome. And it is a terrifying thing to talk to people that have it. Because they generally or genuinely feel like they are either dead or dead or rotting in some way.
Isn't that walking corpse syndrome?
Yes, it is. Cotard syndrome is also known as the walking corpse or walking dead syndrome. It could manifest as many things. It could be the belief that they are legitimately a vampire, or that they are a ghost or ghoul of some kind, or that they are quite literally the walking dead. And they legitimately believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, they need to be watched 24/7.
Yes, they do. Because a lot of them develop a belief of, well, I'm already dead, so this won't kill me.
Free Street Corner.
Sir, can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my
It's one of those
face.
disorders that gives
No.
that's a clear
I
break
don't
from
think you can
reality.
help me.
I'm Dr.
Yeah.
Reed. I've
Dialogue.
recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry.
Aiden says the
I've
camera
learned
angles
it's
give
easier
me
not to
evil
speak.
within vibes. Sorry.
But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
All I can say to that star is no. Because, realistically, this is the Spooktober special. This is how we get into the Halloween spirit, so to speak. Every year I have a different costume, and this year it's Mr. Shiny. That's okay. I know it's a bit different from our normal stream. And I don't expect everybody to understand why I'm doing it initially. Asking questions is literally how you learn. So, E. Anyways, continuing the dialogue.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside, is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
So he actually likes her nibbling on him.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her mad...
But he does have a point, though. It's better for her to
Never
fight someone
refers
willing
to
than
her scars.
unwilling.
Yep.
Frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
I mean, it kind of does.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on
I
every
wonder why
street
the
corner.
Goswicks came here in
Good
the
evening,
first
Miss
place.
Hapcroft.
Daily routine.
How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. We have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress
I
of
like
the
her.
Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Well, damn. Prevent disease. Carelessly spitting, sneezing, coughing, spreading influenzas. Or spread influenza. Spread by droplets sprayed from the nose and throat. Do not cough in public.
We could still use that in today's day and age.
God, yeah.
Actually, I have a history question for you, Kit.
What's up?
Didn't they use flamethrowers in World War One?
Yes, they did.
That would explain to Mr. Thomas's injuries then. Quite
Yes,
easily.
it would. Either that or a mortar blast.
The pain.
He did say it was a mortar blast.
Yeah, because you'll notice his arm is bandaged up too, and it's going from one side of his face to the other. That looks like a shrapnel piece grabbed his face.
I actually do think that they actually would make a good couple, those two. By the way,
No,
they
they
care
would.
for each other,
They do.
and that's what they both need: somebody who look out for one each another in this day and age.
Yep. Sometimes all you need is, somebody who's willing to deal with your crazy.
Someone who can look past it and see the person beneath it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Hello,
All
thanks
I
for the
want is to get
nostrils.
my bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too.
Hello, Johnson.
But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
So, need to deal with the Mr. Broken Arm Man. But at the same time, I kind of want to go over here.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
It's locked.
Your city needs you. Every life saved by efficient medical aid as a blow struck to the heart of the flu epidemic. Volunteers make the difference. Inquire at the nearest appointments office.
I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
It's locked, all right.
Huh.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Okay.
Gamer.
You were saying, Burb?
This game reminds me of Call of Cthulhu for a little bit.
Huh. Okay. God damn it!
What do you mean?
The game crashed! Thankfully, this game has an autosave function. Don't nod entertainment. What if I want to? I'm nodding.
Oh, don't nod. Derek, didn't they make Evolve?
I believe so, yes. Oh, my head is spinning just a little bit now. Maybe that's why they said don't nod.
Well, you weren't nodding, you were vibrating.
No, that wasn't vibrating. That
Oh.
was head banging.
This game is made by Don't Nod Entertainment, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. What's wrong?
I know them.
And?
They make really good games.
Yeah,
They
they
do.
do. They also make good games that people tend to meme the shit out of.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm like, oh, it's a Don't Nod Entertainment game.
Uh-huh. It's a good game. It's just, it gets shat on quite often.
It's like Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Well, after the whole Last of Us thing, it kind of did deserve a lot of it.
No, the reason why I say it's like Naughty Dog is it's because it's memed to hell.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny.
No.
And I think the developers are actually in on some of the memes.
You mean them constantly re-releasing The Last of Us?
I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, them being in on the memes, I mean.
It's a good series.
The first one, yeah, absolutely. The second one, no.
The second one I will say was kind of a letdown.
Kind of a letdown.
People are
Understatement.
entitled
Well,
to
no
their
one-
own opinion, Burb.
I just don't understand why they keep re-releasing. Here's The Last of Us. Here's The Last of Us again.
Man.
You like The Last of Us? Here's it is again.
Because it's a progression of a series.
I cannot enter.
It's the same game. Only thing I don't understand about the game is why it's called The Last of Us. Who's the
Good
us?
evening. I'm
Ah.
Dr. Reed.
The
Always a
us
pleasure
is
to
supposed
last
to
of the
refer
human
to
race?
Especially
to
when he was
humanity.
supposedly dead.
Now,
A
can we
colleague.
stop talking
Are you
through the
Dr.
dialogue?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Jadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Jadana, broker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Okay. I will point out, I do not understand why we were sitting here talking about a completely different game than what we were playing.
I was just talking about the publishing company.
I
And my
know.
mind went on a rabbit trail.
Let's avoid doing that. Also, I need a hit. That's why I took the mask off initially.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses? Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone. An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Oh!
How did you get this job? After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Okay. I will point out this guy very much does have a, I'd say, good head on his shoulders, because he has a good way of seeing things. Dead flesh is just dead flesh.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Huh.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Not really.
But the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
I mean, I actually share a lot of this guy's beliefs when it comes to life and death.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell. Some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Please show
Trade.
me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Codeine, opium, an enigmatic formula. I think I'm gonna buy that.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
So the guy talks to bodies.
He does.
That's not that strange, to be honest with you.
It's not.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this.
It's locked, all right.
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
I'm trying to remember how the eavesdrop system works.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and
Well, he just did the same dialogue he did last time, so I don't think
Yes.
he has anything else to say.
Huh. This is one of the guys I need to talk to, I
Good evening,
think.
Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together. Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune.
Damn.
Such an honor, sir. Thank you. And you are? I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed. Please, could you tell me something about yourself? I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future. I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours? I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful. As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail. You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Usually, yes.
What made you choose to be a doctor? I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side. It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can. This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it. What can you tell me about the Pembroke? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times. I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science. Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation. True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now. Do you need help with anything in particular? Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished. Do you want me to play the errand boy for you? Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need. I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
New investigations.
Tell me more about
your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques. Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him. What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point? Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Well, damn, this is getting interesting.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story. Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident. But why would he hide such crucial information from us? Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence. This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral. I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient. Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake? All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Huh. I'm liking this guy more and more.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
So that was Dr. Strickland. Now I need to find Ackroyd. Why is it that the person that I'm trying to find's name sounds like Hemorrhoid?
Ackroyd?
Yes.
Good evening, sir. I'm
Hope
Dr.
it's
Reed.
not Daniel.
I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Very much a true statement.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
I think I need a hit now.
After dealing with this guy, anybody would need a hit.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of
I can't
Dr.
even hear what he's
Strickland's
complaining
enthusiasm
about.
for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his
You
patients'
getting
lives
kid
for
and you
pride
modernizing
glory.
medicine.
Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Well...
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Damn. I'm starting to hate this guy but like him still. I know that sounds weird, but just fucking... Damn.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your time.
Huh.
We'll talk later.
This is... Okay, so part of this game is going to be as much... Or as much part of this game... this game is going to be as much puzzles as other things, apparently.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea
Hey,
told me
Zephyr.
that science is about
Lem.
exploring uncharted territory.
What's up?
I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
Lem.
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Well, damn.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Okay. Hey, Zephyr, that's when you need to call the police. Hey, Zephyr, I will repeat. When something like that happens, get the police involved. Damn.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Okay, so, hey, Zephyr. birthday or not, that wouldn't be you ruining it. It would be his fucking fault. When somebody raises a hand to you, especially if they are a parent, you immediately call the fucking cops. Especially if they're putting you in any form of danger other than just, discipline. Because I'm sorry.
There's a difference between between discipline and excess. If that line gets crossed, the police need to be involved immediately. Otherwise, all you're doing is teaching the person doing it that it's okay.
That they can get away with it. Okay. If that's the case, then good. Hey, Zephyr? You seem like you need a hug. So, snuggles for the Zephyr.
I give Zephyr a cookie because he is good boy.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick, unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915.
Okay, all I've got to fucking say at this point is I love the way that he approaches this every single time, especially if it's something that should be approached with tact. It's not, I'm sorry to ask, but it's, tell me about the death of your wife!
He's as blunt as you are, Kit.
I'm not even that blunt. Fuck.
I'm about to say blunt as you are, Kit.
Oh look, it's an otter. Come to sit on a bird face. Hi, Isaac. That was an adorable noise. Aww.
I wiggle in defiance of your expectations.
Aw, you're getting smooched.
I was in the army. Building
Wiggling
workshops for the Royal
intensifies.
Flying Corps.
Now I'm the Dilint.
Helen was happy I wasn't
Hold
sent
on.
to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the ways to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, a blundering idiot.
Survivor's guilt.
Yep.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Shift never end. My sweet girl.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Ow.
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Oh, Mortimer Goswick. Personal questions first.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe
Yeah, that
it's
was
not
good.
just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your
But
time
in the
with me.
circumstances, I'm willing to.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Oh my fucking god. It's an Elizabeth and Karen.
Hey!
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care
Well,
of my
considering
Mortimer
it's
and I'll
she's
cover
being,
all the
the mother being a
expenses.
grown
That's
man to
all
the
that
hospital,
matters.
it's kind of a dead giveaway.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
As for what you missed, Delint, not much. We've been talking to patients all day.
Tell me more about
Literally.
your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude.
I am now on the
from start.
counteroffensive, now being on
And
the
that
otter.
nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Ooh, talking to his mama. Hold on.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Trusty old bong.
How painful is your throat, Mr.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go original later.
I'll let you get some rest then.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
I will not let you down, my boy. So many days.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Huh.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Alright. I'm gonna go really quick to see if I can try to figure out who the fuck is, spying on... What's her name?
I didn't say that right as dialogue happened, right?
No.
Okay. Because I saw you choosing dialogue, and I think
I think you're just
clear.
checking the dialogue, see if there's any more options.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you were choosing or looking for more. Oh, I do have work tonight, Kit. Or tomorrow, Kit.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know.
Hey, Claire.
What?
Have a good day at work.
Yeah.
I think I will.
Huh. Okay.
Hey.
I need to check something. Vision power. Dead or undead, trapped inside a rotting body. Can't take the risk of having these hunters investigate around the hospital. Maybe I should spy on them and protect Thelma Howcroft from those hunters. Huh. There are people up there.
Hey, Kit,
Oh,
can I say
wait.
something quick?
They're Pruin Cadet and Rookie. What's up, Burb?
Oh, I forgot to say this last week, but I had to Karen apologize to me last week at the hospital.
Oh, cool.
I was trying to take him to the proper elevator to take him to his appointment. It's like, no, it's this elevator. It's like, and then when they realized, oh wait, it's on the other side. It's like, well, that's where you're going. I'm so sorry. Apparently, I have the ability to make Karens like me for some reason. I don't know how I do it. I just do it.
It's one of them!
Okay. Okay. Guard of crew and command post, Vampire Activity Hospital survey investigate. 3 days ago, one of the new recruits heard a rumor about the presence of a female vampire hiding in the Pembroke Hospital, London East End. All we have is that her first name is Thelma. Your mission is to discreetly go there and observe any suspicious activity concerning said leech. They then report directly back to us, and we'll decide what action should be taken.
Yes, Isaac, I work at a hospital.
Okay. Well then. Elma wasn't fucking joking. There was legit a pair of vampire hunters. That's a little creepy.
Transport. Isaac, transporter.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Huh.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Apparently, the burb is getting all the smooches today.
The pain.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
How long?
Or long enough.
You'd be so... How it...
Well, not...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. It's locked.
Okay.
Damn. The pain. It's there
So many
again.
deaths. And what
There
have
she
we-
is.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
tell me.
I saw one and...
You mean...
Yes.
You have...
Why fear the...
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
Okay.
A giant morph disguised as a pumpkin. That's Pembroke nowadays.
Here we
Good evening,
go.
sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction,
Nah.
Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old
Hey,
habits
Aki!
No
Mlem.
need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I'm giving Aki a giant blanket and a small teddy
I'd
bear.
like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Uh-huh. So, he actually has a shotgun.
And then how much does it cost?
Way more than I have.
Be right back.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
Hey, do you want to ask him? Oh, never mind.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Damn.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not?
Is Isaac still
I've already
here?
been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
I like this guy.
Goodbye, Milton.
Imagine this. Virgin made out of it.
I mean, is this really the mental image you want to be giving to the, otter when he's, you know, probably contemplating various things to do to you?
I can tease my otter if I can tease my otter like you can tease your bro.
Yeah. Good. No.
And I was thinking more like a kimono than anything else, really.
Nah, you're right when you went with the French maid's outfit.
I didn't
That
say
is just-
French.
Oh, I thought you'd said French maid outfit.
I said maid. I didn't say what origin. Remember, I learned how to phrase things very carefully.
Yum. Let's track this one.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Yeah, that is definitely the sound of a scowl. Oof. That fucking sucked. Oh, that's bad. Singular is easier to deal with. Hi. Camera, why are you being the shit? Well, watery, sturdy blood sample. Ah, I might die here. I need a bite. Ow. Come on, let me eat you. Photography in a wallet.
So,
there we go.
Mr.
Found his
Cox
wallet.
and Nurse Hawkins are an item.
Not bad.
Those two have hidden their affections well.
Good night, Andy.
Night, Andy. Lem.
Okay. Milton and Pippa forever.
Cute.
It's locked, all right.
Holy balls. Oh, nope. That's a keep out area. You know what now? Verb.
What?
You know what now?
What?
You started saying something with "can you" and then just stopped talking.
Oh. I forgot what I didn't even know I said that.
Oh. Oh well. Numb the beak.
I just started imagining Milton and
Good
Pippa
evening,
together.
Doctor. Still trying to
Yeah,
save lives.
I mean, they're cute.
I'm just imagining Game Worms, Milton's Factory.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good.
Oh no.
Please, take this money anyway, to remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
How much money did he just hand me?
Wise choice, Dr.
40.
Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs.
Okay. So I have 80. Okay. So, you guys will notice that a lot of this game is dialogue. So, some parts of this game are going to take a lot longer than others, but weirdly enough, even though it may seem like we didn't do too much today, we've actually progressed quite a few storylines. So yay.
Before we leave, can we talk to Pippa again?
Sure, I was actually going to do something really quick, because I have things to analyze, apparently. Cool. Treatment for the cold, for bronchitis, for pneumonia. Man. So. Okay. I'll read that later. That's actually a good idea. Let's go talk to Pippa really quick.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins, but are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Huh. Huh. There are two people out there that I haven't talked to, apparently. Anyways, we are going to go upstairs. I'm going to sit down and save my game, essentially. And this is where we're going to leave off for tonight. So, if you enjoy the gameplay or the commentary, give us a like. If you want to keep up with this or any of our other content, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Become part of our notification squad so you can see when we upload and when we go live. But for now, this is Kitthesoulless and Crew signing off. So until next time, everybody, bye-bye. Also, snuggles for everyone. Also, mlem the tanuki face.
Lum, the Aki face.
I'm Lim on the otter face because otter face is good for bird.
Also, aw, poor Aki. You need very gentle belly rubs. You need belly rubs and the snuggles. Lem. Anyways. Ta-ta, everybody! Also, good I started to do this earlier, but never finished. Good night, Johnson. Good night, Dylan. Good night, Aki. Good night, Isaac. Good night, Zephyr. Good night, Andy. Good night to everybody, and nom faces.
The final word of bird is, otters are good for bird.
Happy.
I mean, I'm fairly certain otters aren't just good for burb. I'm fairly certain otters make burbs go plush!
Happy.